The Killer's Game, the newest action comedy. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the newest movie, The Killer's Game, starring Dave Bautista, the action comedy, is now out on the big screen for you guys to go and check out. Now, the trailers looked very promising. I remember seeing them and I was like, okay, this reminds me a bit of that movie with Mads Mikkelsen, Polar, mixed with a bit of John Wick, mixed with a bit of Liam Neeson sort of Taken sort of vibe, or Rambo vibe as well. And I was like, okay, I like Dave Bautista. I think he's getting better and better with every single movie that I see him in. He is becoming a good actor. So I was like, you know what? I'm down to see Dave Bautista just absolutely destroy people. Now, after watching The Killer's Game, I don't think this is going to be for everyone, this movie. I think for some people, they're going to like it. And for some people, they're going to be like, that's not for me. And I understand where both sides are coming from. Because this movie requires you to suspend belief during the movie. And it also has some cringy dialogue moments where you sit there and you go, I'm not sure about that. Some of the jokes don't land, and then some jokes do land. Now, for me, I went in expecting to have fun. I didn't want this. I didn't really require a deep story. We obviously got the story basically in the trailer. You know, a guy, hitman, hires a contract on him because, you know, he finds out that he's dying. Obviously, the doctor messed it up. And that's the story. That's the whole plot. That's what triggers this whole series of events of these assassins, like in John Wick, coming for you with a contract and that. So that, it's not a deep story. So don't go in here expecting to get layers of depth of plot where you're getting like a Dune, or you're getting, you know, Lord of the Rings. You're getting that type of storytelling, because that's not what this movie is. This movie fundamentally knows what it's going for. It tries not to be like serious. It has its moments where it's like, okay, we're diving into a bit of a character arc here for our main character, who is Dave Bautista, who's playing that character. We diving into him and understanding what the character is, why he's, you know, how he feels and stuff like that. So they don't dive too much into the characters to the point where they give them multiple layers. Like, the villain of the movie has a very normal motive where you're like, oh, okay. It's nothing like special or anything like that. It's just straight up like, okay, revenge. Simple. So don't go in there expecting to get this high level quality of writing and storytelling and character development, because there's not that much in there. What this movie does really, really well is it gives you a fun time. Now, the kills are fun. You know, there's so many different creative ways that they came up with some of the kills. And that's what I think this movie really focuses on really well, is it gives you this little slow build up. It sets everything in motion. And then when the action starts going, you're like, okay, this is fun. You know, it's obviously got the asshole characters that we love to see, where we're like, oh, I can't wait for this guy to die. And when he dies, you're like, satisfying. So there's a lot of that. And there's one particular death that happens in here that is so satisfying. Very satisfying. And I was like, I didn't expect it. It came out as a surprise. I was like, oh, damn, that just happened. It's also got some blood and gore, like the kills, like you see the blood and stuff like that. And they're brutal kills. And that's what I really liked. And that's what I really wanted to see when I'm going in this movie. Like, it's an action comedy. I just want to have fun. I want to see some gruesome kills, some creative kills, and some great action. And obviously you got Dave Bautista there. The man is a gigantic, giant wrestling man. And they put that into practice here, because there's a lot of moves like that happens in here where you can be like, oh, that's a move from wrestling, that's a move from WWE, that's a move from MMA. So, you know, you've got all these fundamentals in there. So I really like that. What I also loved is the different assassins that come in, the quirkiness behind them. And, you know, each of them have their own personality and bring something different to the table. And there's this one particular one, he's a dancer, and I thought that was just hilarious, man. And it was so fun watching him. Like, we've seen, you know, hand-to-hand combat, but what happens when you get a good dancer and they use their dancing moves in combat situation? And I thought they executed that really, really well. And then obviously Drew McIntyre's in here as well. I love what they did with him and his brother in this movie. Like, his character has a brother and they're Scottish. And I love the subtitles because, Scottish people can be, hard to understand at times. And I love how when they're speaking in like that slang term, that the subtitles change it and like give you like what they mean to convey to the audience. This is actually what this word means, and this and this and this. This is really what they're meaning. They're saying a different word into that context, and I thought that was creatively great, and it just added that little bit of extra for me, where I'm like, oh, that's a nice little touch. I actually really enjoyed that. Dave Bautista is great. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot to work with when it comes to dialogue and character and that. Like I said, some of the dialogue, I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's a bit cringy. And I was kind of there a few times where I was like, maybe could have written something a little bit better there. I don't expect it to be elite level writing. I just, decent level writing for that scene could have elevated it a bit more. Like I said, some of the jokes as well, they land. There's some real funny ones, especially at the end. There's some jokes there. Ben Kingsley is fantastic in this movie. Terry Crews is fantastic as well. They bring the humor. I love what they did with Terry Crews' character and the comedic side with his character. His character is very much the comedic relief character, and he does such a great job. And I enjoyed that. Like I said, there's some of it where you land and you're laughing and you're enjoying it. And then there's some where you're like, yeah, that one just didn't quite land. So for me, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna say it. I enjoyed The Killer's Game. It's not my favorite movie of the year. I still would say Boy Kills World is still my favorite action comedy of like the year. I think that movie is just hilarious and so much fun. I think that did what Killer's Game tried to do, but did it on a better level. But I feel like this is going to be a movie that some people are going to really like, and some people aren't going to like. And look, I totally get why people aren't going to like this movie, because this is a quirky, wacky action comedy movie that takes elements from different types of movies like John Wick, like Rambo, like, Liam Neeson's movies, Taken and stuff like that, and then puts it all into one and tries to deliver a fun experience. For me, I had fun. I think if you go into it expecting that you're going to have, not the highest quality of writing, but something that you can have fun with, turn your brain off, and just sit down, enjoy, and have a laugh, and enjoy some, fun, dynamic kills, I think you'll enjoy it. So it really comes down to what you're expecting going into this movie. So don't expect too much, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. So if you guys have seen it, let me know what you guys think of The Killer's Game. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash down the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.